Branden back and time for more Branden's Boy Problems. So being in that relationship, it's been over 9 months now, but I kind of just feel like the more we're together, it's like we learn how different we are. I kind of knew we were always different from the beginning. Like even my zodiac compatibility said like we are completely polar opposites and it is going to be very difficult to work, but I kind of just feel like I never really cared about having common interests with someone because I feel like it doesn't matter like if you like sports and I don't, or like you like certain foods and I don't, or like music, TV shows, hobbies, etc., like vanilla chocolate, like none of that stuff really matters. But I kind of feel like when it comes to like actually being in a relationship and it comes down to like fundamental things like let's say like your politics and how social issues and like if you don't align on that stuff, that kind of just become like a really big problem. Like when we have discussions about like feminism, women's rights, or like gay issues or like social issues like racism, systemic racism, and it's like you feel one way very strongly and then your partner doesn't feel the same way, that kind of causes a lot of conflict and debate. And I feel like that's something I'm kind of going through at the moment. It's just I guess I failed to like ask the important social questions when we were getting to know each other and the getting to know each other stages, but it is definitely like different dating someone where your politics and like core values don't necessarily align. And I do feel like a lot of people feel like in theory like it's totally easy, like you don't need to have stuff in common, or like it doesn't matter, this doesn't matter if you have this in common or not, like you can date someone that's opposite of you. But people say that, but then when you're actually in the situation, it is extremely difficult. It's like frustrating, and we do have a lot of heated debates and arguments about like social stuff, and it's like not even stuff that's like, well, some stuff obviously directly affects us because we're with black gay men, so of course things affect black people, gay people. This stuff is still stuff that is always going to affect us, but it's we can still have completely polar opposite things. And I just kind of feel like the viewpoints he's expressing don't align with my own, and I kind of just feel like I've always been someone that I guess I don't mind debating and arguing because I do like to be right and I do like to argue my points. I do like to maybe take it too far and like eviscerate someone and insult their intelligence when they express viewpoints that I don't agree with or that I find inferior to my own. And I kind of just feel like in a relationship, it's like hard to, I guess, remember, you have to always remember like your partner's still your partner and they aren't your enemy. But I kind of just feel like there are some points where you just can't respect the other beliefs. I kind of just feel like that's where we have a like discourse, because I kind of just feel like I am used to hanging out with people, I guess, that think like me from like a same like socioeconomic level, a similar education level background. Like we have similar like liberal views. I mean, there's certain things like we might disagree on, but I feel like it's usually fundamentally like still all very liberal, educated, and understanding of like the world at large and value science and medicine. But then when you're coming from someone that doesn't have the same like education level or background as you, and they kind of just don't have the same worldview or knowledge of you, it does become difficult to like have the discussions about things like vaccinations or medicine and politics and systemic racism, because it's just like they maybe not have the same understanding that you have. And I'm dealing with that right now, and I kind of just feel like I never really thought I'd be in a situation where I would be dating someone that didn't have the same views about the world issues, like being pro-choice, pro-life, or like how it's so much harder being a black gay man than any other gay race, considering black gay men are like hated. I mean, I guess in some ways people can think that's subjective, but I also kind of feel like there's also proof that like black people do have it hardest in America and do face racism and discrimination from literally every single race, and that's no different in the gay community. Like, it's really not. But yeah, so I feel like some things are subjective, but I also feel like some things are factual, and there's literally a right and wrong. And I feel like it's hard getting to a point where you feel like you need to respect each other's beliefs when it kind of just feels like your belief is wrong. Like when it comes to certain, like I feel like when you're gay, you don't have to respect the beliefs of homophobes. If you're a woman, you don't have to respect the beliefs of someone that's sexist. If you're black, you don't respect the beliefs of a racist white person. It's like, no, your beliefs literally counter or put me as an inferior person to you. So I feel like I've never really believed in having to respect the opposing opinions of people, because I feel like if your opposing opinion is literally wrong and like views people as inferior, and it's very like narrow-minded to the point of like you are trying to put other people down, then it's wrong. And I kind of feel like your viewpoint is wrong if you don't acknowledge that other people are being put down because of race, gender, sexuality, etc. Like, these are all proven hardships that minorities face. Like, so if you are in denial about minorities facing different hardships, I just kind of feel like your viewpoint is wrong. Like, I don't have to respect it. Like, there's literally research. Like, there's literally articles, facts. Like, you can do research on these subjects and see that your viewpoint is wrong if you don't think that there are certain hardships that make different minorities have harder times than others. And I kind of just feel like I have to reach that point in a relationship where it's still like, we can have healthy debates or opposing opinions, but still not getting to a point where it gets too like aggressive, because I can definitely be very aggressive. Maybe I should have been a lawyer, because I just can argue my point, eviscerate your opinions, make you feel stupid, make you feel like you're wrong. And I feel like it really just gets to a point in a relationship where it's like, it's just very difficult trying to accept an opposing opinion for me, because I'm definitely someone that's very opinionated, and I'm definitely someone that I do think myself as very educated. I like to research things. I like to research things before I speak on them, and I don't like to speak on things I don't know anything about, because I don't want to be wrong, and I hate being wrong, and I hate people thinking I'm wrong. So I try to make sure if I speak about something, I at least have knowledge of it to speak of it. But not everyone is like that. So it does become difficult having debates with people that aren't well versed in a subject or just have very different views than yourself. And I'm hoping there is a resolution, or that I can definitely just try to be a better boyfriend and respect opposing views, even if I don't respect those views or think they are well informed. So thanks for joining me in this episode of Branden's Boy Problem.